team. Let's rejoin Jim Gray. Jim?
Greg and Terry, this is the first time since 1967 that the Packers have had back-to-back winning seasons. And you know, it was 26 years ago that the Packers beat the Cowboys in the Ice Bowl to win the 1967 NFL Championship. Now, since that time, the Cowboys have gone on to become America's team and have played in 6 Super Bowls. As for the Packers, all they've had to hold on is the warm memory of that very cold day.
All the time, regardless of what game it is or anything else, you play like champions every minute out there. Go get them.
I think what Coach Lombardi did might never be done again. I mean, it was quite a run.
The hallowed grounds of Lambeau Field. Forever will the glory of Starr and Nitschke linger.
I think the ghosts, you know, of the 60s and the great Lombardi years, I think haunt this team a little bit, or have.
The 1967 NFL Championship game, the Ice Bowl, perhaps the greatest game ever played.
Quarterback Starr makes it.
Legends, that's what many of those Packers became. A team of Hall of Famers, Super Bowl heroes. Not all of them even common names to today's Packers.
Terrell, did you ever hear of Jim Ringo?
I've heard of that name, but I can't picture it.
Max McGee?
Haven't heard of him.
Forrest Gregg?
I've heard of him. Head coach.
Ray, there are a lot of guys on the current Packer team who have no idea who any of you people are other than the fact that you played, because they're too young.
That's right, they are too young, and probably they don't know about the old Packer, you know, players, and that's good, because they're their own players. This is their own team. This is their own Green Bay Packers.
Now finally stepping out of a 3-decade shadow, last week the Pack won its first non-strike year playoff game since Super Bowl II. Now this week they have been challenged by none other than Green Bay's biggest star.
I get a letter from Bart Starr, and he sent me a letter really challenging me, you know, as a ball player and as a leader, to really try to take a step more forward. And you can't dare look at something like that and say, well, what are you doing sending me this letter? You know, who does he think he is to tell me what I need to do? But who he think he is to tell me what I need to do is a Hall of Fame quarterback that's won championships.
Now, with another young quarterback from the South, championships are once again being thought of. Titletown, USA is once again thinking about, well, a title, rekindling an expectation of days gone by.
As a coach of the Packers, you feel the pressure differently, because I believe how we do and whether we win or lose affects everybody, from little kids to grandmas and grandpas, everybody.
We often talk about it as a team and coaching staff about bringing back, you know, those old years, but them being ours now. So one day, 20 years from now, there'll be some other kids in here playing, saying, you know, it'd be great to win championships like Brett Favre and Mike Holmgren and Sterling Sharp and Reggie White. You know, that's what we're saying right now.
Well, as the gods would have it, there is now a light drizzle coming through the roof here at Texas Stadium, and it's interesting to note, Greg and Terry, that 46 players on both of these rosters here today have no memories of the Ice Bowl whatsoever, because they weren't even born. Gentlemen?
Thank you, Jim. Do you remember it?
The Ice Bowl? I watched it.
Yeah, I read about it. When we come back, we'll talk X's and O's with head coach Dennis Green of the Vikings. And next, an inside look at how the Cowboys plan to stop Sterling Sharp right after this.
Chances are, though, you live someplace else in America. So we put one there, too. Cellular.
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick? Hot Pockets!
Hot Pockets, filled with pepperoni pizza or ham and cheese in a crispy pocket.
What are you gonna pick? Hot Pockets!
Try Lean Pockets, too.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Better try something else. Mine really works.
You'd better try something else, like Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it more than all leading brands. Selsun Blue, doctor recommended #1.
You're deep in REM sleep, dreaming the big dreams. Because as Freud said, all men are great in their dreams. Suddenly, you don't feel so great anymore. You'll do the big things later. You hit the snooze bar. You hit the snooze bar. You hit the snooze bar. You hit the shower. You start soaping up with Coast. Coast is rocket fuel for the senses. Coast is a big, bold blast-off that turns you back into a human dynamo. Coast, the eye-opener.
You know, life can be hard. Full of hard knocks, heartaches, hard roads, hard. Wouldn't it be nice to have something soft? Like soft tacos from Taco Bell? Yeah, that'd be delightful. Delectable morsels of beef, chicken, or steak, enveloped in sumptuous semicircular soft tortillas. It wouldn't be like settling for a burger or anything cliche like that. I'd still be cool, just more sensitive.
Welcome back. Sterling Sharpe is the Packers' go-to guy. When in doubt, Brett Favre looks for number 84, the first player in NFL history to catch over 100 passes in back-to-back seasons. This week, I asked Cowboys defensive coordinator Butch Davis about him.
This is one guy. Is this the guy you say, we got to stop this guy completely?
Well, to a certain extent, Terry. I think where you have to do a good job with him is make sure that you limit the amount of yards that he makes after the catch. He is one of the outstanding, he and Jerry Rice may be the two best run-after-catch receivers in the National Football League.
How does he dictate to you a defensive coordinator? What does he make you do differently?
What Green Bay does with Sterling Sharpe, I think, is really good. They move him around. He is one of the most displaced receivers in the league.
There he is. He's right there, and the tight end comes off and picks. There he picks two guys, drives his guy back. Sterling's guy has to come across. Another guy go deep.
That's what they do, Terry. They'll try to put him in what around the league is called a cluster or a bunch or a stack group and put him to where they can break him in 3 or 4 different directions to try to get rub-offs if you do place a man in some blitz-type coverage.
A lot of two guys on Sharpe this week.
Well, we're going to pay an awful lot of attention to him, and I think you run a real risk if you go with the idea you're going to totally shut him out, but, you know, we're going to give him a lot of healthy respect.
It is our pleasure to welcome Dennis Green, who is 2 for 2 in guiding his Vikings to the playoffs as head coach. And, Coach, you know these two teams well. You played Dallas. You defeated Green Bay 4 straight times now. How do you stop Sterling Sharpe?
Well, the big thing, Sterling, wherever he goes, he's going to get the ball. So I think you really try to clamp him. If he's in short motion, if he's coming out of the backfield, you know he's going to get the ball. You got to stay on top of it. What you can do is what Detroit did here is lose sight of it. You have to always know where Sterling Sharpe is at all times on every play.
Okay, Brett Favre is one of those quarterbacks who obviously is capable of making big plays happen, Terry, but he also throws the ball up for grabs every once in a while.
And young quarterbacks will do that, Greg, especially young, strong-armed quarterbacks. Here you see Brett, this is where he has his problems. He gets pressure, he tries to make too many things happen, and he puts his team in really an adverse position. Look at here, got a sack, throws it up again. The real key for Brett Favre today, I believe, is if he does get in trouble, don't give up the football. This is a playoff game, and like Coach, we've been talking, there's 6 months before the next one.
That's right. Well, you can't improvise. When he tries to improvise when he gets in trouble, in a playoff game, 1 loss and you're out, you have to really take good care of the ball. You cannot turn the ball over.
Okay, you made reference to the New York Giants and their loss to the San Francisco 49ers yesterday when you said that the Packers are better off today for having played and lost to Dallas earlier this season.
Well, they're better off having played them. I don't know about losing to them, but the fact is they already lost by 20 points, so they've already played them. The big thing that the Packers have going for them is that they really believe that they can play better than they've played. They've been sort of an up-and-down team. The Cowboys are a good football team, but they've already played them. I don't think they'll have the same effect that the Giants had. Sort of awestruck when they played the 49ers yesterday, and you could tell because in that game the Giants had a lot of 2nd and 1s on defense, 2nd and 1, 2nd and 1. That meant that a lot of 1 guys were making the tackle. The Packers will not be intimidated today.
All right. Reggie White, the big gun on defense for Green Bay. What do the Packers do with him today?
Well, what you might see with Giesick, John Giesick now will be the starting center, his first time to start at center in 5 years, Greg. What you will see is Reggie White will move, number 92, will come in and get over the center. Early in the football game, I believe today you'll find out how excited Dallas Cowboys are about playing. And if the Green Bay Packers, since they're not really up for them, they can create turnovers with Reggie White over the center, disrupt the running game, frustrate them a little bit. But this game really can be won by the Green Bay Packers if they can get in and get in the Cowboys' head early. A lot of passing, and it can start with Reggie White over center.
All right, Coach, you said, and you had some success, a lot of success, running Scotty Graham right up the middle against the Green Bay Packers. You think the Cowboys will be able to do that too?
Well, they'll try to do it. The big thing is because of the lead blocker, and you can see Scotty hitting up inside, and also the Green Bay Packers inside linebackers are primarily outside linebacker types. They're not real big, strong, physical linebackers. They're more movement type guys.
How much does Emmitt Smith's physical condition affect this game?
I think a great deal, because suppose Emmitt can't play very much at all. I think Jimmy Johnson already said that he's going to play a lot, but not the whole game like he normally does. Anything, the win, Terry talked about the win, but also Emmitt Smith's health can also have a factor. If they're not totally 100%, the underdog always has a chance.
All right, Coach, Dennis Green will be with us throughout the day. We'll take a time out here. When we come back, we'll take you out to Texas Stadium, where the players are about to be introduced. Stay tuned.
The Lincoln Mark 8's revolutionary suspension automatically lowers the car at high speeds for better handling and less wind resistance, which raises the bar for everyone else. The Lincoln Mark 8. Drive everything else first.
I'm in this Italian opera to prove how Italian Subway's Italian subs are. For a limited time, enjoy our spicy pizza sub or Italian steak, both with Carm's marinara, sauce from a recipe by our founder's mother. So open up and say ciao.
New hot Italian subs from $1.69 at Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
Che buon panino! Sì, $1.69.
In New Britain, Connecticut, people don't need a Wall Street genius to tell them where to put their money. After all, New Britain's the home of Stanley. And even a modest investment in Stanley tools, painting equipment, doors and hardware can pay handsome dividends down the road. So before you sink a nickel in municipal bonds or soybean futures, how about a new Stanley garage door?
Jim Fansler's cold won't give him a minute's rest. But he's about to break free with an effervescent rush of relief. Alka-Seltzer Plus Nighttime. It speeds powerful medicines to free your breathing, relieve your runny nose, soothe your aches, and quiet your cough so you can rest, all without alcohol. Nothing rushes relief like Alka-Seltzer Plus Nighttime.
Things getting to fever pitch at Texas Stadium, where the Dallas Cowboys have just been introduced to their fans.
The Moose, Darrell Johnston. At running back from Florida, number 22, Emmitt Smith. And at quarterback from UCLA, number 8, Troy Aikman. And Coach Jimmy Johnson. And the rest.
We'll see you back here at halftime, but right now it's game time on the NFL Today. The Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers, NFC Divisional playoff action. Enjoy it, everyone.